Welcome to the Haute route, viewers. We're now on stage 2 of our trek through the Alps and heading off from a small campsite in Peuty, Switzerland.
So great, the first morning in the Alps and it's rained. Just my luck, eh?
Our first pitch is another campsite in the lovely Champex with its popular lake. And then continuing through Le Chable to find a pitch for the night. Let's go!
Campsite, the Peuty. There's a glacier at the back. Quite a cool night.
We're just setting off now. We've left our campsite at Le Peuty. And we've got a couple of severe hairpin bends to negotiate. We had been carrying provisions with us and our aim was to restock with food at a supermarket in Le Chable. And down there is the town of Trient. For our schedule, Trient was a detour, so we continued on for the classic crossing of the Fenêtre d'Alpes. Well, we could have taken a wild camp last night, but we decided to pitch up in a campsite, which was okay. Very small with only 2 toilets though, and a lot of flies. Being as it's a farming area, there's lots of cows around, so we were pestered a bit by flies. But anyway, it's warming up now. The sun hasn't quite hit us yet, but it will. Good forecast for today. Away we go. Day 2.
Looking back up to the Col de Balme where we dropped from yesterday. Just headed up the track here.
Bonjour.
Bonjour. Powering anything? Just there?
Just in the channel. We just turn a corner and look at that view! Let me zoom in on that huge glacier. There we go. That's what we're walking underneath. It's spectacular. The path leaves the woods, and the climb to the Fenêtre is steep and rocky, with clear, uninterrupted views onto the fast-receding glacier. This was our first taste of drama, and would definitely not be the last. Wow! Glacier du Trient. Morning. How are you doing?
So good.
Where better place to sit and eat nuts?
Quite high up now. Certainly just level with that glacier. We can see the col.
Few paths allow such detailed study of an ice field in all its tortured glory. Up we continued towards the wild, rocky cleft of the pass, the Fenêtre d'Alpes, but Graham was having a rough time and feeling under the weather. It was a tough day for him, with an exceedingly heavy rucksack.
Here comes Graham.
Glacier, hour and a half.
There we go. There's the way down.
I already had that for breakfast.
That looks steep. I'm dropping down from the Col d'Alpes. Pretty shaly path, zigzagging down with the peaks are pretty special around us. Great scenery. We're headed through a sort of bouldery, stony section. Requires a bit of concentration. We're headed down. Magnificent, you can see where we've come down from. Zigzaggy path back up to the col. Ooh. En route to Champex Lac, coming down from the col.
Well, just scrabbled our way down from the col. And it wasn't funny, was it? It was hard going, that. Look at what we've just come down. Bloody hell. However, wow. Look at the surroundings. The path drops down to the head of the Val d'Arpet. It's very steep and loose underfoot to begin with, and a chaotic boulder field has to be crossed before finally reaching a stony bowl, followed lower down with delightful pastures, a beautiful stream and thousands of flowers.
Well, we just left the rocky section and leaving the boulders behind. Just panning around this sort of amphitheatre of cliffs and fantastic terrain, and a bit better path now as we go down to Lac Champex. Well, little foot break. We're there 12 feet, beautiful location. Well, day 1.8 I would say about now, and the terrain's just changed into the trees, wafts of heat coming off the path, but nice to have the shade.
If I'm lost along the way, if I wander off onto a different trail, will you forgive me if I fail?
Champex is a lovely spot. It's also very popular since the Tour de Mont Blanc also passes through here. We decided on another night in a campsite, but by the end of this trek we all agreed that the stealth camps were a much better option, though finding the right site at the right time could sometimes prove a little stressful.
The sun's just about to rise. Day 3, stage 4.
Through wind and through rain, through trouble and
Just walking down to Sembrancher, and just in the bottom there was where we spent 2 days earlier when we were in the van. Back up there is Chable the Heat, and behind there is that big fin of rock we're looking at for a few days.
I don't think I really need words.
when I am calling your name.
We're approaching Sembrancher. Oh, we've done a fair bit of rough and tumble so far. Blocks, steep descents, cliff faces, mountain scenery. But this, I just love this about Switzerland. I love these meadows. What's the verdict on the Alpine meadows then?
Absolutely brilliant. Fantastic.
It's gorgeous, isn't it?
Through wind and through rain, through trouble and pain. Will you pull me through like you always do when I am calling your name?
So we've reached the Gare.
Through wind and through rain, through trouble and pain. If ever my heart strained, will you pull me through?
We're leaving Sembrancher behind. through the meadows and onwards.
And we're arriving at Chable just before lunch, so find some food. Beautiful location, Verbia up on the hill. The Sue coming in from behind.
Well, we're at Chable and we're currently melting in the sun. We're sitting in the shade in a cafe waiting for the supermarket to open. It's a beautiful town, but oh, it's hot. How are you feeling, Dave?
Had warm because cable car does look appealing.
Graham was still not feeling great, so he opted to take the cable car whilst Dave and I headed up out of the town to find a pitch.
And there were two lights. Well, Graham's going for the telepherique. You can see in the background I think he's going to get 600 or 700 metres for 22 francs, which is tempting, but we feel like we just want to trek it. So we're going to suffer the heat and the ascent and disappointment. Graham's not with us, I suppose, so check in later. So, it's an empty cable car. There it goes. That's one way to gain ascent. Ooh, look where we would have been.
Wish we'd see Graham in one of them.
That'd be really funny if he was in one of these.
When in the mountains. If my old dad could see me now. Cheers, Sping. Giant rosary beads. We're hoping to find somewhere very soon. In the meantime, oh, it's hot.
It is hot.
But we've come a long way up already.
Just starting to work out whether we can camp or it looks quite lived in now. There's cut lawns there, so I'm assuming there's somebody living here. But I don't know. We're about to find out, I suppose.
Well, I think we've found our camping spot. We're underneath some wires, but it's quite lush. I certainly ain't complaining. It's hot. It's such a beautiful day. And despite the wires, we've got a really nice view. That's looking down to the Chable, where we've just hiked up from. I think this is our route in the morning. Dave's just gone to look and see if there's anything more suitable. But I reckon we're settled now. Well, I know it's a cliche, but I really do feel like I'm living the dream at the moment. It is like a dream. It's so hot. There's flowers everywhere. I've just seen a couple of eagles circling above my head whilst I was sunbathing. So we now have our stealth camp for the night. We just have to wait a few hours before we put the tent up, so I've left it drying and I'm coming along here just to have a sneaky bathe, because there's a well, one of those water wells along here next to the church, and it's such a beautiful spot. Honestly, I mean, could it be more Swiss? I mean, it's gorgeous. There's a lovely lake down there as well. We saw that one earlier, we walked past it and I was tempted to jump in it. I think it's private, but anyway, there it is. Let's see if I can get a wash. Oh, now that's good. And then it's Dave's turn to come and have a wash. He's currently lying in the shade, so I'll have to go and watch the things while he does the same. It's great to be like this with your best buddy. I'm just sad that Graham's decided to take the cable car lift up. We'll see him tomorrow, but it's a bit of a pity we've missed half a day with him and a night in the tents. Anyway, back to the camp. There he is, probably waiting desperately to have a wash. How are you doing?
I wanna lay here beside you. Oh, quiet.
Right out, that's it.
You ready for a wash?
Yeah, I'm going to go later on, it's too hot just yet. Well, washing facilities when you're on the Haute route and you're out camping, but toilet, sink, light, it's actually very clean. So, all spruced up. Well, the end of day 3 on the Haute route, stage 4 in the guidebook. Graham's had to decide to get the cable car, he's struggling with the heat. It's sad really that the trio split up, but Sue and I have hiked above the town here, which must be a good 200-250 metres up off tomorrow, but it's going to be a steep start. But just looking at this scenery, the Alpine meadows, the architecture, the mountains, the trek, it's quite formidable really. Quite daunting what's ahead. I guess Sue and I maybe have a benefit if we know what the last 3 or 4 days were like and that we know the terrain there, but even so, more to come yet. 2 more wild camps after tonight. Always daunting to wonder where you're going to camp and how you're going to do it, but for me that's part of the thrill of the trek, is not really knowing what's going to come next and trying to work it out, and it's part of the challenge I suppose. But anyway, that's where we were earlier on. This is where we are now. I'd say not that much hike gain, but certainly a couple of 100 metres, if that. Anyway, I'll stop rambling and let's hope it all goes well. First wild camp at Les Vernies, 1,100 metres. And it's just this little clearing here. So a nice spot really, apart from the trees blocking the view a bit. But hey ho, the tent is still too hot to get in. It's 20 past 8. You just can't bear getting in it.
Well, that's us away for now. We'll be back soon to meet Graham for the next stage in the morning, where events are about to turn a little more worrying. Until then, bonne nuit!
One's been vomiting and one feels like he wants to vomit. Vomiting.
Warburton, sir.
Vomiting.